All right, this is Dinking Around. I'm your host, Brant Weiss, with my darling co-host, Charles Darling. This week, we have two dope guests. I am super excited to talk to them, but first,
I am too.
Let's summarize last week. Raw or Nah, we had Scott Kilpatrick on, the former owner of Raw Sushi Chain and Pizza and Wine Co., who sold the...
Sauce.
Oh, sauce.
You were close.
I messed that up.
Hey, you
dude, it's like
the
the first nerves. I was excited doing it, and that's all you need. Okay, so anyways, he's not the owner anymore, so it's not that big of a deal. He sold him. He plays a lot of pickleball now. Very successful businessman. Part GM for the Arizona Pickleball League. We talked about playing with balls. Too bouncy or too light. We talked Chat GPT, Charles' only friend.
It's a good one.
And we talked about how only in pickleball is it socially acceptable to dress up as a gladiator or a fake security guard in a room full of 100 people. Which brings us to our guests, Chad Stinson and Nick Hart. I'm excited to have you guys on. One was the gladiator from last week. We looked at the guy, said we have to have him on this week. And he said, well, I'm only doing it if Nick does it. So here we are right now. 4-time U.S. Open champs, 2-time national champs, owner of the brand FTP, not to be confused with Flick the Pickle, F the Police, Fear the Pickle.
Fear the Pickle, baby.
So guys, super excited to talk to you. Kind of want to hear each of your backgrounds and how you got into pickleball.
Go ahead. You were first.
Oh, you want me to go first?
You knew it before I did.
So thank you for the intro.
That took a lot out of me. Holy
intro.
shit.
And this is the very first podcast. I've never done a podcast.
Chad doesn't do a whole lot of public speaking, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah,
It's my third podcast. Don't tell anyone.
So I'll say 2017, but Nick will correct me and say we started pickleball around 2018. I don't know to be exact if that's right or not, Nicholas.
We'll say competitively 2018.
Okay, so we'll say 2018. My mom lives out in Florida, at St. Pete, and growing up, we played tennis all the time, just hitting ground strokes for hours. And my mom first found pickleball, and she ends up calling Nick and I and saying, "Hey, there's a sport called pickleball, and you guys are gonna obsess about it and make it your life." And we're like, get out of here. So no, we flew out to Florida, of course, to see my mom, and she let us out in the court, and for sure enough, it was a smaller game of tennis, and it was fun. We had fun. It was not life changing at that moment. Nick
For
and
you.
Oh, that's one to change your life. Okay, but no, we visited, went back to Arizona where we live, and pursued our gym career. That was our thing back in the day, was working out.
Okay.
So
Don't get in relationships.
yeah, the gym will fade away
Immediately.
almost within
Scary
weeks.
fast.
Yeah. And so we were working out, I think at LA Fitness, something like that, and we decided we were going to tour around Arizona, check out the other gyms. And one of the gyms that we came across was Lifetime Fitness. And
Okay.
I kid you not, we did a free week trial because they charged an arm and a leg. That's like 4 trips to the casino for a membership there. And so we weren't going to pay a monthly membership, but we did a free week, free pass. And on the last day walking out, we weren't going to, work out there anymore. Nick sees a flyer hanging on the wall that says pickleball Monday nights, and you don't have to be a member, and you can pay $5 and play. And we're like, oh, they do the pickleball thing here. That's cool. So we thought about it. We came back because we were like, well, we don't really have a whole lot of friends here. So maybe it's a way to meet people. And for sure, we started playing once a week, every Monday night. on the awful gym floor with the soft ball. It's a very different pickleball game. Yeah, never again.
Yeah, indoor balls are the worst. I don't like them at all.
Terrible. So we did that for how long, Nick?
I mean, we were in there for a while. Probably
A year? Would you say?
at least 6 months, I'd say.
6 months, okay. I have no concept of time.
That's okay. I guess I'm curious. What is gym? We're gym people. Were you guys?
We were lifters. We were
Okay,
working
like
out
competitive lifters.
shred-
Okay, yeah.
No,
I was like,
no,
what? This
no.
kind of sounds like some sketchy. What is
No, like don't have the dad bods we have now. We were fit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not competitive, but we were.
I mean, I saw you in that gladiator outfit last week. You're still looking pretty good. Come on.
Just don't have them try to do a push-up.
It's all strapped back in there. So.
Yeah. So you guys started at the same time in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
2018.
2018.
We'll say.
Now, how long did it take from playing recreationally, hey, this is fun, to something where like, yo, let's...
I'll tell you.
Okay,
I'll tell you how it happened. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to sit back and relax.
I mean,
You're going to love it.
might as well turn my mic off.
Yeah. Shut her down. No.
Yeah, if you and Charles could just leave.
Yeah. Not needed anymore. No. So we, at that point, we had been playing every Monday night at Lifetime and met a lot of people. And then we heard that there were these tournaments that you could play in pickleball. And so we've only ever done indoor pickleball. So we're like, where could tournaments be? And I don't know how we found pickleballtournaments.com, signed up for our first tournament down in Tucson. And Nick and I were so excited. We signed up as 3-5 men's partners and headed down there at, I think it was like 5:00 in the morning. It was super early. We had to get down there, 2-hour drive, get down on the courts. We first pull up and it's one of those senior citizen, like living graveyards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, this is where pickleball is? Are you kidding me? Anyway, so we're both feeling really bad at this point because we're like the youngest by generations that are at this event. And we're like, we're going to just kill everybody. Well, 8:00 start, 0:02. I think 16 minutes later, we're on the road back to Phoenix. Yes. They killed us. And they were like 70-year-old, 80-year-old men. And we're like, how? We didn't say a single word to each other on the drive back. Not a word. Not a single word. I was beside myself.
Yeah, no, I've been humbled too. The first time it was I'm not joking, 85-year-old man showed up to the court with a cane. I'm not making this up. Showed up to the court. I'm not making this up.
A fucking cane.
Dude, I'm serious. This dude turned into a monster. I don't know if he drank a Red Bull. I don't know what happened, but he stepped on the court. He was a former racquetball player.
Screw the cane.
He pickled me, whatever, 11-0, and then
pickled.
I started crying.
I mean, for real crying?
No, I'm a former athlete.
That's different.
I have some pride, and then I was just like, this guy really just kicked my ass with a cane. Like I'm not. He showed up with a cane.
It happens. It happened. So at that point, we got back and we're like, what the hell?
We gotta get better.
Yeah. We're like, we're like, forget everything we know in life. We literally have signed up for every tournament since that tournament, and we have medaled at most all of those tournaments since then. We learned the game. We learned the slow game and how to like control and not drive the ball every shot. The joke is we would go back and thank those guys for getting us so heavily into pickleball, but they're probably dead now. Rest their souls.
No, but that's what lit the spark, is that tournament. So it was just like something where, hey, let's just do this for fun, and then it became, no, this is a lifestyle. We're going to be on
Our
top of the world in
backgrounds
this.
competitively, I think, are a little different. I played sports like my whole life. I played college baseball, college golf. So just like naturally, I've just been like a super competitive athlete.
Yeah.
So since like the first time we played his mom in Florida, it was his mom, but I still wanted to like rub her face through the dirt, right?
Yeah.
And then so for me, I just hate losing in general, and I take it a lot differently than he takes it.
Nick's extremely frustrating because not only does he not practice, he does not drill, he does not play for fun. The guy will literally wake up, travel to a tournament, play maybe for 2 hours before the event, and win a gold.
Are we in couples therapy right now? I'm not ready to. I'm not a licensed therapist.
You invited us.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, so for me, it's a competitive thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like I'm not going to get my ass kicked by some old dudes and just like be okay with it.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I just kind of stemmed it from there.
Yeah, but he doesn't practice at all.
So
Sounds
Nick's
like you wanted to get that off your chest.
Like at all. No, I'm like, it's more impressive than anything.
Well, Nick's
Like-
the better athlete, it sounds like, for sure.
I mean, hey, on live air,
It's
I'd
good
love
to
to
pick
have
one.
this answer, right?
No, let's be clear. There was a time within the last year or two, we did play singles out at Tempe Sports Complex. And what did you say? You got what? Goose? Gold?
Pickled.
I pickled
I'll never
him
forget.
11-0 in singles, and he was trying.
Look how much he needs
Silence.
this.
Yeah, he needs it.
Let him have his moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now
Well done, Chad. Well done.
coming from like a recreational background into the tournaments, what are tournaments like? Like, what was your first experience at a tournament? Is it scary, intimidating?
I mean, you just get like, again, I just think different, how you think you yourself as a competitor, right? You get the nerves, you get the excitement, right? It's just kind of
How was it for you? I mean,
like that
was it
first
all
one in
that?
Tucson, or just like anytime we go out?
Just
No.
anytime.
Like,
Or-
okay, you guys are U.S. Open pickleball champs, unless you're lying
Correct.
on your IG bios, which a lot of people
I
do.
just won the
you.
U.S. Open.
Thank you, Brogan.
That's awesome.
So, like, what are those tournaments like?
I mean, it's exciting, right? I mean, when you're a big competitor, right, you just kind of live for those moments, right? And going to tournaments, it's the new people you get to meet, it's new challenges, it's just kind of more notches on your belt type of a thing for me, right? I'm out there to win, right? So I just get kind of just like that hunger to add to it, right? So
Yeah.
I just get like super jacked and excited about it myself.
Yeah.
Did either of you guys play in the APL that we're going to tonight? Were either of you guys on a team?
No,
So I was the gladiator.
Well, I know that. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was very disappointed to see what you look like after you had the gladiator.
Right, true.
Yeah.
Can you
I'm like, hey, this
please
guy is probably like the
Put the
guy from
mask back on.
300. And he's like, hey, I was the gladiator from last week. I'm like, oh, what a bummer. What a bummer.
Yeah.
You have a much better high kick than I do.
Well, it's, when you're 7'7", it's easier to have a high
Right.
kick.
That is true.
But did you play on a team?
Not saying I would have participated. I would have liked to think so, but I have a bicep tendon tear and a labrum tear, so I've been out since November.
Okay.
So when they started that, technically, I wasn't even able to play at that time. Not saying again I would have been picked, but I really couldn't have played in general. But I then knew the guy that was the GM of the Gladiators. We're good buddies, so he wanted me to at least help him coach in that league. So
Okay.
I helped participate in the league. I'll say that.
Who's your pick tonight?
Ooh. Choose wisely.
Can you even say this safely?
No.
You don't want
No.
to, do you?
No.
Yeah. Either way, you lose if you pick one. Okay, we'll table that.
Right.
We don't want to make any
It'll be
enemies here.
it'll be a good match.
That's what. Well,
So
Brant, do you have a favorite tonight?
I'm going to be honest. I have no idea who's playing tonight.
So we got the Scorchers. And
I just
and,
go to
the
these for the
Sprouts,
free
right?
food.
Yeah, that okay. So you and I might be alike that way. So when Nick and I travel and just play pickleball, I'm the one out there playing every day of the week, practically. Like I'm getting permission over here. But outside of that, like I know no stats about we see all the pros.
Yeah.
Right? I don't go to watch the pros. Like I'll nice point. But I'm not sitting through a whole match and watching them.
Yeah.
Nick's got that up on the screen. He's watching it all the time.
Yeah.
Very different.
Mental reps. So he doesn't need to be out there.
That's exactly it,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
I can visually absorb.
Yeah.
So maybe he's putting more work in than you.
Boom.
Right? He's putting in that mental work,
I
learning
never
the moves.
thought
Mental
of
game
it
was.
that way.
You're a high level athlete.
You're out there
That's why they have
beating the
mental
ball
coaches
against
these
the-
days, right?
Literally, yeah.
He's putting more work in than you. And you
Yes.
thought it was the other way around.
Damn.
Is that a hard pill to swallow?
I mean, or did we just unlock the?
I think we might have just.
My God.
The pickle code.
We're breaking barriers over here.
Watch
we
more, play
are.
less. That's the new phrase for pick.
Hey, a lot of scouting is watching video.
That's all it is, right?
That's all it is. these
Hardball.
days. Yep.
Right?
Okay, wait.
Really hardball.
Well, what about Master Yoda? What does he practice? It's his mind.
Well, Master Yoda's sitting over there in the corner, but
He's in our corner over here.
he's won a lot at many different high levels, and a lot of it is knowing who you're going against, right? So I guess with that, knowing who we're going against, favorite victory of all time. Have you beat a pro? Have you had some great match against some famous guy and you took him down? Your favorite? Do you have is there a victory that stands out in your mind that's above all of them?
I mean, obviously, U.S. Open was one of the first majors I won. Played with Haley Newman, right? So kind of be a part of that with Haley, both of us kind of coming up was pretty cool. I mean, me and Chad have had matches. We've been down like 1-13 to a game to 15, and you come back and win 15-13, right?
Yeah,
so there's different
and
levels
that's-
of what gets you excited and memorable, right? So it's not like I beat so-and-so type of a instance. It's just kind of like the emotions and just kind of like what you overcame or did during that match, right? So I think there's different levels, but obviously majors are good, nationals, U.S. Opens. And
You
stuff
you
like
did
that.
get to face off against Ben Johns.
Yeah, so when the PPA, very, very first PPA started, like the very first match tournament they had was at the Mesa Complex Geometry. Is that what it's called? I don't remember. And
Yeah.
me and a buddy from Philadelphia, we had actually just won the U.S. Open, so we teamed up for it. We went into pro because we were so late signing up. It's all we could get into, so we're like, screw it, right?
Let's go.
go.
First match, Ben, when he played with Matt back then, I think it was 11-2, 11-2, right? But, I mean, so that's cool, right? You get to see it, but I think we actually went like 3-2 that tournament. But yeah, it's cool, that type of thing, but I think it's just other
He said he
victories
won
that
some
get-
hand battles against Ben. Couple points,
Maybe one.
maybe one side out, maybe.
Good enough. Good enough.
That's honorable.
Now, Matt is
That right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if that answers your question of
Absolutely.
one, but
There's no wrong answers here.
But there's just, I mean, there's a lot. We've played, I don't know, hundreds of tournaments, right? So you find little wins in all of them. So,
Best city to play in.
ooh, wow.
Favorite city. Favorite
So-
tournament.
So far, we're still traveling.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Hey, we get this. We probably travel more than anybody in the country, I'd say, to be
Wow.
honest.
How many tournaments do you hit?
We used to. So since COVID, obviously, like that shut a lot down, kind of travel. Since then, travel's cut down quite a bit. And then I've had some injuries. But pre-COVID, we probably went to 20 plus tournaments, a year around the country.
Wow.
We're both in sales, so we can kind of work from everywhere. So we take advantage of that.
Coolest though, Nicholas. I mean, Nationals out at Indian Wells was really cool.
Indian Wells is
Okay.
always
How they
good.
refinish all the tennis. You don't see a tennis court in
I
sight.
think of like the coolest venue that we've played at. St. George probably has the best facility in the
Okay.
country.
Yeah.
I don't know why nobody mocks that court even out here, right? It's just there's a whole topic we can go on.
Well, let's start right now. Let's start
I'm going to
mocking it
be
right
completely honest. I have no idea where St. George is.
St. George, Utah.
Okay, yeah.
Utah.
That's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
said.
So shout out to them. Like they know it too, but it's
fair.
just the court setup, shade, bleachers, right? We live in Arizona and we construct no shade. It's great to have a bunch of courts. Again, beggars can't be choosers. But we have 0 tournaments from April to October because when it's too hot and we have nowhere to play.
Yeah.
You know the market in Arizona for pickleball? It's probably one of the best in the country.
Oh, the Mecca.
But the fact
Yeah.
that something hasn't been addressed yet, like Legacy is great, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
there's
windy.
There's thoughts
And
on that,
it's
right?
out there, too.
It is,
there.
but
It's far.
I mean, they put the tennis benches in the middle that you can't even utilize during pickleball.
Zero
right?
shade.
Yeah.
So it's like let's just build a bunch of courts and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's no pickleball thought or like we're in Arizona. But there's a lot of facilities that don't do that, right? And it's supposed to be an outdoor sport, right? Get your exercise, go outside, have fun. But St. George, if you ever make it, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah. Now, when you're doing these tournaments, are you like doing APP, PPA?
All of them.
It all
depends on what we can go to. We're not, we don't do that. We don't do this. It's like if we have a free weekend and we can go, we go.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, there's a bunch of weddings coming up, so it's got in the way of a few APP, PPAs. We're going to be at the Seattle PPA.
Okay. How do you qualify for a professional league like that? I don't think a lot of listeners.
League?
No, anybody can sign up.
Oh, yeah. No, this is open to the public.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
Okay.
PPA, APP are obviously the pro tours just for them to have something together, but they still have every level from all ages, all skills.
Gotcha.
So,
Yep.
like the one they just had in Texas, they had like 1,500 plus people, which was the largest. So but the thing that makes up pickleball is the amateurs, right? So,
but the thing is, for anybody who wants to play an event, you have to sign up months in advance. So you have to really plan these out, and they fill up fast. So if you're thinking about playing a tournament, you just got to hop on and just pick a place and then settle in
and ride with it. Yeah. It's so hot right now. I feel like a lot of people, hey, we can do this.
I'm building one in my backyard.
One day. But yeah, so I mean, any tournament's open to anybody out there. So just find a cool city you want to go to, or just to start, like just sign up and go. I mean, that's how we did it. We didn't know anything. The first tournament probably the first real tournament outside of the Tucson one was that Melba Bishop one in Oceanside, California.
I don't remember it.
Well, I mean, the lowest level's like 3-0, right? So your first tournament, you don't know anything about ratings or skill or anything. So I signed up as 3-0. I played singles, and I think I beat everybody like 11-1. And like guys were like yelling at me.
Sandbagger.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what that was, right? I'm like, this is literally my first tournament. I haven't really played any of this yet, right? And then you just learn. You do one. I think everybody's allowed one tournament to figure it out. At least, and then don't be that guy.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk to me about that.
But pickleball, it's still in its infancy of becoming like, I think, a real sport in a sense because of ratings, all of that type of stuff. There's no structure yet.
It's all distributed. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It is.
Just kind of like our hosts here. Just an absolute mess.
But
I'm a hot mess, baby. Come on. At least I got the face for it.
Yeah. At least he's hot. At least he's hot. Yeah.
No, but it is an industry everyone's getting in. There's like 4 different pro tours like we were talking about earlier. I saw today, I don't know if you guys saw this, Liv and the PGA are going to work with each other now. So I thought that was interesting. And I don't know what your guys' opinions are on it, but I think in the future, do you see that happening with these pickleball tours?
I thought it was already going to happen, right? So disruptors, right? That's a big thing. That's what Liv was. That's what PPA is doing, right? They're the ones that break out of the norm and try to create something that actually like stands out to people and gets people more interested, right? And then people start flocking to that because they're the ones getting the most eyes because it's more interesting and it captures more of an audience. So Liv did that for golf, right? And I think, as much as people don't want to accept it, in the back of their minds, they're just kind of like, right? So I don't know if the lawsuit had anything to do with the PJ kind of being like, all right, you might have got us, so we kind of need to do it. But in my mind, I thought the APP, no offense to anybody on that, I thought they were going to get bought out already by the PPA or just kind of
thought the exact same
go
thing.
under that umbrella. Yeah. It still might be in the works. But it's got to get to one, right? It just to be a real sport, it's got to get to one.
I mean, you can have your local tournaments. Right?
Yeah, exactly. But as far as the pro, you don't see anybody competing with the NFL. It's just NFL, MLB. There's no. You would imagine, at least I would imagine, the same things happening.
You can't have. This is the thing about pickleball. You can't have 2 different pros. You can't have a pro definition here and a pro definition there, right? And that's what they've created.
Yeah.
So the big question: what defines a pro? There's so many people that play on the pro tour that go into every weekend. But if those are the only events that they play, do they call themselves a pro?
I could do that.
Right? Yeah, so again, that's just like pickleball still in its infancy. There's no definitions behind anything. Like the APP people, they play on the PPA, they don't medal, right? So
Yeah.
do you count them pros still if they go play on like the Real Pro Tour? Which
What technically defines a pro?
there isn't.
Okay.
I think
It's
unless
just like,
you
yo,
like
I'm a pro. You get a sponsorship or something.
like NFL,
Yeah.
like there's a combine. The MLB has all their farm systems.
Yeah.
Golf has Q School. They have like web.com. They have all these things that help define what that is to earn that spot.
Yeah, you get drafted into it.
I can sign up for a pro pickleball tournament, right? I'm not a pro, but I can literally sign up and play against a pro. So there is no definition of a pro pickleball player right now. So the ones that are probably making six figures between sponsorships and prize money, count them all day as pros. Like there's probably 10 to 15 on each side, men and women, in my opinion, that you could probably call a pro. Everybody below that's just like an extremely good pickleball player.
So you're telling me right now I could sign up as a pro?
Uh-huh.
That's insane. Yeah.
You got
But again, it's on what
look.
it's on what rating. I think now they actually
Don't have to play.
correct me. I might have to backtrack. I think now you might have to have a 5.5 rating on like a duper or something, right?
Okay.
But that's not put set in stone anywhere either. The PPA for Seattle, we still sign up with our old USAPA ratings, which isn't a duper, which the PPA owns.
Yeah.
So then it's like you're a pro here, but you're not a pro in this rating that you sign up with. So I don't know. There's no definition. Just sum it up. There's no definition of a pro yet.
Yeah, that's what it's confusing to me. And I was hesitant to ask earlier because I'm like, I don't know necessarily what makes this a thing.
No, they've already figured out we know nothing about pickleball.
Yeah,
Despite having a pickleball podcast.
that's all right. We're just dinking around, baby. And
around.
that's all.
So I don't know if
all
pickleball
it
could
is.
ever develop a farm system of some sort, but I think that'd be pretty cool, right?
Once
And
there's enough money behind it,
Exactly.
then it will start
until
to
they
get
have their
more
own
organized.
weekend where I
Yes.
don't show up to the same tournament they're playing at, then it's a real pro sport.
And in the other sports, what defines a pro is they're getting paid to do it. If you're not getting paid to play and getting paid to do it, then it probably isn't pro. Even in the minors, they're getting paid, right?
Yeah.
Or you get drafted into it. You sign a contract into it. But one of the things is I'm happy to learn is that I can just call myself a pro. Hey, Brant, I'm a pro pickleball player. I didn't know it was that easy. That's very exciting. Did you know that I'm a pro?
That's gonna be. There's probably
You should update your LinkedIn profile.
I should. Pro pickleball player.
I think we
and
should
then just never play again.
sign up for a
That way,
tournament,
no one
right?
figures out that I'm not a pro. But another thing that's concerning to me as a guy that has a company that manufactures pickleball products, it calls into question every single person I just signed that told me they were a pro.
We gotta go
All
through
that money
way.
that you and I just threw out there, Steve, for all these guys that were pros. Holy shit!
I mean, exposure goes a long way too. So they can benefit you in other ways than on the pickleball court, right? So, but
Should have had us in here earlier.
where's your vetting process? We can be your new vetting team.
Back to Brant's point, like the reason we have Brant is just because he's handsome.
There you
right?
go.
No, literally, that's it. I'm not bright. I blacked out the first 5 minutes of this podcast, and now I'm having a heart attack on Red Bull right now. So.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But
When did you guys look? So you're traveling 20 tournaments a year. Tell me about when did you guys fall in love with this sport? When did it start to become? When is it that you're willing to dress up like a gladiator? When was it that you were willing to spend? What is that? 20 tournaments. That's 2 a month. When was it that you were willing to go every 2 weeks to a tournament? Do you remember that moment?
For me, it was the day we lost in Tucson.
To the old guys.
That was it.
And by the way, to our
was it.
senior listeners, we love all.
We love you
listeners.
guys.
No
And-
disrespect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, even though he said that he figured you were dead, we love our senior listeners. This is a senior friendly environment.
Yeah, sorry for the comment
Okay,
earlier.
so it was losing. You lost to you drove down 2 hour drive. We're like, we're gonna kick some ass. You get there, you're driving home in 6 minutes, and you're like, okay, I love this.
Yes, my world was turned upside down. I thought I had a world created, and it was upside down, and now I'm just obsessed.
Okay, so you
Okay.
fell in love through defeat. I like it.
So when did Fear the Pickle come into play? When did you start
tell us
dressing up
about
as
Fear
a
the Pickle.
gladiator?
So Fear the Pickle, I'd say once we started getting into tournaments, I don't know, 2018, we probably threw out the idea of like a brand, right? And, at the time, ASU, Fear the Fork, a lot of type of stuff. Like what could be like different, unique, that's not normal pickleball, right? But can still kind of relate. And I'm a big Spartan fan. So that's kind of how we created the design with it. So from there, we tried to start apparel, but if you don't, I mean, you guys are busy. If you don't order quantities, you pay out the ass for stuff, right? And we weren't mass producing.
Yeah,
anything.
not many people are buying gladiator outfits.
Right. But so now we just do it. Now we're like we're kind of like a cult following. Like we'll show up in like Chicago or
FTP, baby.
Texas or wherever and be like, oh, Fear the Pickle, right? Like we see. So we got this like cool cult following around. We do it for friends that only play with us, right? So it's not like mass produced. We don't sell it online. It's just if we think you can wear the logo, we'll give you the logo.
If you're cool enough, yeah.
So
You earned that logo.
What do you have to do?
yours
I don't like the look you just gave me.
I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, we were talking about Speedos before this
now we need to
podcast,
Fear the
and now
Pickle.
that look, I'm scared.
We need to put the FTP logo on like where the juicy goes on your Speedo or something on the back.
I do need a pickleball Speedo. Charles, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I used to do a lot of content wearing Speedos.
He for sure did.
There's no option to get a Proton Speedo. I'm sorry. It's not fucking possible.
It sticks out, though. Brand awareness. We talked about it earlier.
So quick shout out to Proton just in general with my shoulder. Since I have these tears now, I played college baseball. So after that career, right, I wasn't going pro. Slow pitch softball is like the next thing that happens for baseball players that don't continue baseball.
Yep.
But unfortunately, I have to start picking and choosing my battles with my shoulder, and throwing is not really an option I have these days. So I'm sad to say, I think my slow pitch softball days are behind me. But Proton, I've obviously recognized the brand from there, but I'm bummed I can't really play anymore.
That was not a paid advertisement. That was not paid, I swear.
In fact, Gearbox just texted and said the shout out to Proton cost you your sponsorship.
Yeah.
Oh. No, thank you for that's actually where we started. We started in softball, and the guy sitting over there he's one of the most household names in the history of softball, him and his father. But yeah, softball's a fun sport, but I got to tell you, I have fallen in love with pickleball since first picking that up.
Yep.
It didn't even require me losing, which happens a lot. But I fell in love with that from the beginning. And yeah, it is. And what did you ever play tennis? I don't know which one's easier on the joints. I hear pickleball guys saying pickleball's harder on the joints than tennis, but I don't know.
So I was gonna actually segue into that, and now you're just like trying to.
Shit.
Well, now I feel like I got to do a quick plug on Gearbox. I mean, we're sponsored by Gearbox.
No, we don't talk about Gearbox here. Tread lightly.
They help us travel.
We'll edit it out later. Go ahead. No, this is not a Proton podcast. Yeah. No, we like talking about other brands, and to each their own, and everyone has their likes. But go ahead, please give them some attention here.
No, but we've been with a lot of brands, right? I mean, when we first started Fear the Pickle, we were on Instagram. We were with Gamma at the time, right? And we would post playing with their paddles and all that stuff without any sponsorship. We were at some tournament in Utah, and we had our shirts on, and it says Fear the Pickle down the back, and somebody behind us like, oh my God, you're the Fear the Pickle guys. And we turn it, it's one of the reps from Gamma, and we get sponsored. Right? Awesome. Just because we were already repping.
They would reshare our posts on their page is how that all works.
It's that easy to get you guys. The rumors are true.
But I mean,
retweet, reshare me, and you got me. All right.
But Gearbox is the longest brand we've been with. We've been with them for probably 3+ years now.
Okay.
And the people there are just fantastic. And they take really good care of us, and we can call them up and talk about anything, and they always call us when they're in town and everything like that. But no, big shout out, right? We couldn't do what we do right now without a lot that they do. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I shouted out Selkirk like 3 different times. They reposted all 3 of my stories, like 3 minutes long each.
Oh.
Still never sent me a paddle, so I had to settle for Charles over here.
Settle.
I was like, all right, well, we got to find somebody else.
All of my marriages, they were settling on me too, so I'm just used to it. Right?
That was the best DMs I've ever slid, I'll say. Old Charles, hey.
It doesn't matter how it happened, right?
Another shout out, Nicholas. Viore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're yoga out here.
They're what?
They do yoga stuff out here, right?
They Do they?
Viore, so
It's
Viore
clothing, right?
And
Yeah.
and Al are like the two big yoga players
Yeah,
out here, right? But Viore's actually getting into pickleball. They actually already throw out a pickleball line and they have a paddle.
It's brilliant.
But we partner with them quite a bit. I mean, most of the stuff we owns Viore, right? So we throw cash games out. They'll give us stuff to raffle off, and they like our post, which is pretty cool when we shout them out.
That's a smart move by them. I know them from
Yeah.
yoga because, I do a bit of hot yoga these days. That's why my high kick was so
There you
good
go.
earlier.
Downward dog.
Yeah, we're not in it for the flexibility. We're in it for the athletics. So, but
Extremely comfortable clothing.
I like it. Good picture.
We're just doing ads left and right now. I'm going to shout, hey, get a nice girl, nice guy hat. That's my brand.
we can move on to your list.
No. So actually, I didn't talk to Chat GPT this week. I actually posted something on my IG, and I have followers unlike Charles. So people responded, but about like which is harder on your knees. So I asked just people general pickleball questions. Somebody literally asked. There's only 2 people in my life right now. Don't judge me. Yeah, there's only 2 people. I have 126,000 followers.
They're all busy.
Don't get it twisted. Just none of them want to. None of them want to watch this. Apparently. But anyways, one of the questions was, does it hurt your knees? My knees aren't great. Mine aren't great either. I'm on them quite frankly. Okay.
I don't know. For me, it's not my knees. I would arguably say my feet constantly ache.
Does he bitch about that a lot?
Yeah.
I mean, he just sounds like he's just bitching and complaining.
There's
right
a
now.
lot of
Do you hear
I
about
mean,
these
I blocked
feet
it out.
issues?
I blocked it out mostly. So, but
Talk about that.
I don't know. For me, I think I've had right patella issues.
Yeah.
I think it's probably because since we don't go to the gym as much anymore, my fat ass is probably making my knees hurt now. But I'd say a patella might be just because of the side to side and things like that might be. I didn't play tennis. I played baseball, but my knees are. I was middle infield, so I was used to side quick steps anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and such a short court,
so-
and you're having to run up, stop, side, run back.
But I'd say not a lot of knee
lobbing.
issues. I don't think I hear a lot of knee issues. No.
That was my biggest surprise too, because my biggest fear was, I'm about to freaking fuck up my hip. I already need a hip replacement.
Yeah.
I've just been pushing it off the last 2 years because I'm stupid, like Charles pointed out earlier.
I didn't need to point it out.
But yeah, I know that people already know. There's 4 people in here now.
They heard you.
Anyways, I was surprised to how good my joints felt because it's not a lot of crazy movement. The court's super short, obviously. So even though it's side to side, it's like 3 steps to one side at most. So the low impact of it is what drew me in initially. That's why I loved it right away. I was like, oh, this is a fun way to get cardio in. That's the only cardio you do, so I don't even want to ask you.
And I barely do that. The ball just goes by. I'm like, fuck it.
Good shot.
The next question we have, you guys kind of touched on it earlier. How many days out of the week do you practice, and how many hours per day?
Well, I actually played this morning, so I did. Yep, and then I was invited to play tomorrow. I have to respond on that text. May or may not be able to play. I'll have to check with Nick. I would say out of the week, 4 days for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a court in your backyard?
Nope.
Okay, that's
I
shocking.
wish.
That's like the new thing in Arizona. Don't have a pool, have a
We
pickleball
like
court
to spend
instead.
our money. We spend all of our money traveling, so
Yeah.
we don't have money for pickleball court.
Traveling
But,
in the casino.
we have a putting green in our backyard, though. So
The third time you mentioned casinos, should we?
we need an intervention.
If there's
Do
a
we have
hotline-
hotline, throw it at the bottom. If you have a problem, please call this number. I mean, for me, I have my shoulder stuff. I've been wanting to get back in the gym more, so I don't practice as much. But to Chad's point, like, which is why I'm not going pro anytime soon, is I don't practice that much. I'm very competitive, so I do all the tournaments, right? I think I do, luckily, can rely on a little bit of just like athleticism to get me through stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not obviously the greatest to always rely on that, but it gets me by enough, right?
Yeah, no, that was super humble. Yeah.
But I mean, I want to play. I'll go play, if there's good groups or people are in town or just kind of like some fun get-togethers. But, I mean, we were almost every night of the week, 2018, 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
Before Pickleball Kingdom and all those indoor places came out, it was 116 degrees. We're out in Horizon Park.
Yeah, we used to be almost everydayers.
I just shifted from being an everydayer to I'm like 3 to 4 times a week right now.
Yeah.
The next question I have for y'all, biggest tip for a beginner, somebody getting into the sport?
It's a good question.
It's a great question. That's why I asked.
I mean, one, you got to go play.
Oh, I've got one.
Don't start with seniors.
True.
No. Start with seniors. You'll
Get your
figure it
ass
out quick.
They are good.
They are very.
good,
You know what? They have so much patience. Is what they've accrued.
So work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, when you have limited movement, you learn the angles.
You have to.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
positioning is everything.
and they can lob a ball. God, they can lob.
Yeah, but then if you lob them,
Well, that's true. If you,
strategy.
yeah.
Okay.
But,
No, but what I was going to say though is choose the right ball to practice with. I see too many of those weird purpley or weird colored ones to start. You got to play with the ball that everybody's playing with, so that when you get into a actual invited game or tournament, that you're practiced with the right ball. 'Cause
It's actually
Yes,
great advice.
everyone listen to that, because when you show up and say, "Oh, I have a ball to play with," and it is one of those, everyone hates you even if they're not telling you.
You almost become invisible at that point. They're like, "Oh, nobody wants to play with it. Okay, yeah, well, we'll have 3 this
Yeah.
round. We don't need a 4th."
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the lob shot, okay, and I'm really curious about this from outdoor to indoor play, because I feel like Arizona Pickleball League, that ceiling's not too high.
It's not high enough.
And it's a great facility. I'm not talking shit about it. Don't kick me off.
We go tonight.
You're not allowed in here.
you're blacklisted.
But is it a huge difference when you're at if you're playing indoor and it just takes away, like a lob shot's a big part of my game, and if I'm playing indoor, then I'm going to be worse than I already am.
Yeah.
I mean, lobs at that level aren't common
Yeah.
anyways, right? And they'll throw it out
So
every
true.
now and then. And an effective lob doesn't need to be high, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
more of the timing of when you
Well,
do it.
I mean, unless you're trying to lob Brant.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You need 15 fucking feet in the air.
But yeah, it's not the most ideal place to lob it, right? And that's probably one of the lower ceilings around for an indoor facility.
Yeah.
That has it. So it's not like a common setup for indoor. But I mean, shout out to Takako. She'll lob you about 20 times a game and you won't touch one of them.
Yeah, no, I'm not that coordinated. Yeah. I
Scott-
look the
Scott-
part, I don't play the part.
Scott can lob.
Scott's
Scott's
Dill
a really good lob. Patrick, yeah.
Dill Patrick.
Dill Patrick.
Dill
Yeah,
Patrick.
yeah.
Oh,
Scott
he,
Dill Patrick.
Well, I'll let you finish your questions, but Scotty wanted me to shout out one thing, but I'll let you finish.
Oh, no. Last question. Apparently, no one knows what a third shot drop is, so I was hoping y'all could explain that.
Well, I don't even know if the pros are doing it these days either.
Nah,
They're
it's
doing
turned into a fast game.
third shot drive. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. That's my specialty. I love
The third shot drive.
Oh, no. Actually, that's a newfound love. I have been driving lately, but no. To drop the ball, I can drop very well.
It depends on the level too, right? I mean, having the third shot drop, you still have to have a lot of the pros still utilize it pretty well. But I think it's also level based. I mean, if you have a good third shot drop and somebody's not as skilled or whatever, I mean, that just sets you guys up instantly. To get
Yeah,
that. So
I mean-
to move up, develop it, maybe at the higher skills, it's not as
I
important.
mean,
but-
having a third shot drop in a beginner's type situation. I mean, you'll be the beginner third shotting it into the kitchen while the other guy on the other side is still on the baseline.
Yeah.
So it's a very different experience than you see. But
All right, give Dill Patrick your shout out.
No, no. I just saw in the text he wanted me to cover his hit a fucking overhead.
Yes.
Story.
All right, let's hear this.
Oh, God.
So we played in the U.S. Open last year. He came out. I love Scotty. We've done quite a bit of tournaments together. We just won some little fun one at Lifetime the other day.
It's awesome.
But no, we get there. U.S. Open, right? It's one of the biggest tournaments of the year. You pay a lot of money to go. It's a big event, all this stuff. And it's his first time playing in it. And we're just warming up. Start of the day, men's doubles. And, Scotty was an old racquetball player, so he just loves to rip the shit out of the ball, right? That's his thing. He'll do it to fuck around, but then he'll just throw it around in shots too. And we're getting in, and we make it so at the U.S. Open, it's like PPA. If you lose in the top bracket, you can only get bronze. So we lose.
Rose gold.
So we had lost to go to gold, so we dropped down right before winter bracket final. So we dropped down. We have to play a couple in the loser bracket, and then we make it to bronze. And we're playing, and Scotty hits the ball hard, and he gets him overhead, and I'm just like, and he's just not putting him away. He'll come to the side. I hate the side slam. Never works.
What's the side slam?
They let it come and they do the side roll instead of just putting a ball away overhead.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, and he does a couple times where we're losing, and this is to get a medal. And he does a couple times. I turn to Scotty, I'm like, hit a fucking overhead. What are you doing? Put a ball away, right? And I'm just but come to find out, after we were done, we ended up winning.
So
we got bronze.
Did he put a ball away? Did he put a fucking ball away?
He started trying, but come to find out, in warm-ups, before the day even started, we probably played 5 or 6 matches. During one of his racquetball hits, he tore his oblique.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So he
Black and blue.
It hurt him.
Yeah,
and
so you're being...
So I'm here being an ass to him. They're what the fuck are you doing? Hit an overhead. Jesus
dude, I
Christ,
can't.
Right?
You know what, though?
But he's I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to mentally fuck things up, right? So that's why he's I couldn't. But he's I tried. I'm just
I don't know.
So now it's just a joke every time we play and stuff. I'm hit a fucking overhead, Scotty.
I don't know. Scotty, if Scotty told him earlier, he would have been saying, hit a fucking overhead.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't give a shit. I don't care. Yeah. But no, it was just funny because I was just holding it in for a while. I'm all right, give him the benefit of the doubt. At the time I was dude, what the fuck? But
anyways. Oh, by the way, so I have nicknamed his ripper shot. So Scott can really hit the ball hard.
I figured that out on Thursday. He can fucking mash.
Oh yeah, his little backhand whip.
So I've named it the Scotty Boom Body.
Okay.
And so whenever you're playing
Give
Scott,
him a boom body.
Oh yeah, whenever you playing Scott, here's the trick and how you can see it coming or it's coming. Whenever he says, "I got it,"
oh, he's gonna load. He's gonna
just
load.
drop to the ground. Oh yeah, he's gonna hit you, and he's gonna hit you hard.
Yeah. So we started this podcast talking about Scotty. We're ending it talking about Scotty.
Yes.
Should we just change the fucking name of it to Scotty?
I think this is
this is our first
the Scott
episode.
Dilpatrick podcast. Yeah, I was going to say, listeners, if you don't know who he is, watch the last episode, or you're going to have no idea what's going on.
That's funny.
We need him back on.
Yeah, we should.
Let's go.
And we're going to see him tonight. Great guy.
Yeah,
he is great.
Wait, last thing. I know we talked about the gladiator outfit, but you never actually said what made you dress up as a gladiator at a pickleball tournament with 100 people.
Fair. We gotta lay that out right here, right now. So joining the Gilbert Gladiators. Nick was part of the Gladiators as the assistant manager, helping out Michael Givens. And I was asked by Michael, who's the general manager of the prior team, because we are not in the finals.
That's okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Practice more.
Hit the fucking ball. So Michael said, he sent me a picture and he said, would you wear this? And I was like,
oh, fucking, of course I will.
Fuck it. Yeah, I will. Twist my arm. And that's pretty much it.
I love that. Do we have a little Adam outfit I can wear for the tournaments we're going to soon?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
I love
That would
that.
be sick.
Yeah.
I really don't have anything else to ask. Do you have anything?
God, we covered everything.
Yeah,
there
time's
is
about up.
to cover.
Talked about a lot.
We talked a
45
lot.
minutes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Scott in this episode. Talked about a little tournament style. If you haven't listened to last week, listen to it or you're going to have no idea what's going on. If you have any questions, hit them. Man, we need an email.
Ooh,
We
that's
gotta
a good
set that
idea.
up. Yeah. If you have any questions, email us or slide in my DMs. I like that better anyway. BWEISSER_. Chad, Nick,
Fear the pickle.
pleasure having you on. Fear the pickle. Flick it. Do whatever you want to it. I think that's all we got.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, thank you guys.
Thanks for
Pleasure.
having us.
Appreciate
thanks
it.
for coming on. We'll circle back with you guys in a couple
Yes,
of months.
please. That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll have a different host, but yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
That we were gonna. Where's the comment card? That was on our comment card. So.
Brant. So we're gonna kick you out. That's right.
No,
It was a
Brant.
fun
We
3
love Brant.
episodes.
You did well.